Hello there, fellow humans. You okay, Glory? You okay? How's it going? Welcome, my dude. How is it going? What's that? Yo. Alright, now, what is this? Oh. Oh, so it's literally the Christmas event. It's the Christmas event, but worse. Paw Globe. What is... Oh, that doesn't work. So it doesn't even tell you what's in there. Okay, wow. That's wild. That's straight up wild. Just bought 5 of these. Ha! Nothing of value in there at all. Gee. Absolutely nothing of value. Let's get 5 of them. Luckily it's not my gold. I got a coupon and a golden tag. Okay, so you can, if you just keep clicking, you claim 1, but if you go claim all... See, they're now making gambling, they're making it quicker to gamble. So you can get... Yeah, gee. What a shame that is. 458, so... That many victories in 10 days is quite excessive. That is quite excessive, but... Today I'm going to... play... Obviously, the tank that kills me. And as always, we start with the Tiger 131. Because that somehow started happening. And I guess it's gonna keep happening then. Just because. It can. It's gonna keep happening just because it can. Alright. Does that work again? Because I saw already when I joined the game that the sound reset once again, and the sensitivity reset as well. Right, so after over 10 years, well 9 years of this game being available on Steam, Wargaming can still not fix that in certain intervals during certain updates, the replay limit resets, the sound levels reset, and the aiming sensitivities simply just randomly reset. It's been over 9 years and Wargaming still hasn't bothered to fix it. And that is all you need to know about how much Wargaming cares about you. Hi Keegan, how you doing? Like, I wonder if they just don't know, because I mean, it'd be possible at this point to not know that about that bug. It has to be, like, what game resets your settings when it updates? So, either they know and don't care, or they know, and the problem is buried so deep in the server of the code that they just can't be bothered finding it. Realistic mode. What about realistic mode? So I personally think that Blitz realistic mode is terrible. And the only good realistic mode is called War Thunder. And that's not a good thing because realism in gaming isn't automatically a good thing. Alright. Oh, there's a smasher. I'm gonna try to not get smashed. Playing height here is not too bad. I haven't done this for a very long time, but now I've done it twice. The first time I ended up down in tier 3, and the second time I got to tier 10, but barely, in about 3 hours. So, it's gonna be interesting today. Today I'm not even gonna stream for 3 hours. But let's see where we can go today. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to die to that trash. Oh no. Oh no. No. I got it. Oh no. I really like the South African tanks. Wait, South Africa has tanks? South Africa has tanks? Is there like a tech trade? I don't know about War Thunder really. I haven't played in maybe exact. I haven't played since November 28th, 2024. And I have 141 hours in total in War Thunder. So, Wi-Fi. Yeah, I haven't played this vehicle since they introduced tank ranks, which was like 3 years ago, I think. Stars. May 3rd, 2022. That's the last time I played this tank. Hey, Bobby-Ann, how you doing? Sadly, yes. Not all about yes, highly modified Centurions. I see. I see. I mean, what does South Africa need an army for? Like, to fight the Sand people? You know? Like, sure, if you're neighboring countries like Russia or something like that, you definitely need an army. But, yeah, I wouldn't assume any other neighboring country of South Africa to be interested in that. Oh well. We have 1 minute and 20, but there's enough people in the queue, but we don't have enough waiting time. I mean, true, but that's far away from South Africa. You know, like Sudan, Mali, Ethiopia, Eritrea, they're busy with whacking. So, because as it turns out, if you take a random British guy to draw a line on a map with no regard for anything, it's probably going to result in a few problems later. Ooh. Like, this is a tier 5 battle, which is a problem because I don't want to go down to tier 5. But I'm playing this vehicle, which I haven't played for 3 years, so I know nothing about. Here we are. Okay, well, that's just a 59-16. That's just a 5916. I can never touch it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't play this either. Ever. But I died to one, so I'm gonna play one. And whatever I die to next, I'll play that. So you get to play tanks that normally I'd never play, you know? Low tier vehicles, tank destroyers, the mouse, things that I would, with sound mind, never touch. So can be interesting. What happened if you win? Well, if I don't die, I don't change tank. Simple as that. Alright. But next week we're doing tanker quests again. Alright. And there will be a Crabcast on Friday, so join the stream on Friday as well. Don't miss that. So I might play Le Mans Ultimate again. Hello, Spike. Oh. There we go. Ow. That guy. Can't shoot the cross from here. Can't shoot that guy because he's, well, he's peeking like that. By the way, this game, in its simplest form, is pretty easy. You need to do two things. Find a place where you can shoot at the enemy, but the enemy can't shoot at you. And find yourself a piece of cover, like this. You know, if I drive out here, you know, then of course I'm vulnerable, I'm probably gonna die, I'm gonna get destroyed. So, simply don't do that, and then you don't die, you don't lose your hit points, and you can get favorable trades. Now that Cromwell is stuck in a terrible position, and he's not that good, so he has now deceased. Now what do I want to do? Do I want to put a shot into that guy? Well, I wanted to. Now this guy's a dumbass because he drives out in the open and allows me the opportunity to shoot him. Now I'm going to drop here because I have the hit point advantage by quite a lot, and I know that the next shot can kill him, but his next shot can't kill me. So I gotta do... Oh, I don't have to do that. Oh well. That's stupid. That was a dumb peek of his, but he almost got lucky. Somebody uses this tank. It would be funny. Yeah, I got 5 kills and 2k damage, so you know, maybe. Probably first class though. Yep. Oh, lol. 9 on 7. Ain't enough. See? He's not a bad player. At all. What's going on here? Sad. We survive, we get tanker quests because I want tanker quests. Well, you can get tanker quests next week. But today I'm playing this tank until I die in this tank, and then I play whatever tank shot me. Pretty much. So... No, Glory, you don't. Tier 5 again. Okay. Well, at least I haven't downgraded yet. For now. It's a tier 5. Don't want to fight that. Well, I mean, I do want to fight that. I just don't want to die to it. Good job, M4. Very excellent hit point management there. But see, as long as you can shoot the enemy and the enemy can't shoot you, you're doing just fine. Just think of doing a 24-hour challenge with all defenders. Yeah, I was thinking about doing a 24-hour stream at some point, but then I was like, if I was doing a 24-hour stream, I wouldn't be doing Blitz, because playing Blitz for 3 hours is already annoying enough. So if I play Blitz for 24 hours, I would probably need psychiatric attention afterwards. So yeah, no, let's not do that. Yeah, okay. Hi, Napoleon Bonner. How you doing? How you doing? So yeah. What is this? Huh. Wait a minute. It's a woman, and she's not half naked. What are you doing, Wargaming? All the backgrounds are like lewd as hell anime girls. Because they sell better. Maybe need caffeine as I'm up. Caffeine does nothing for me. So actually being age requirements. Well, I mean, they are basically simply interested in whatever makes the most money that isn't illegal. That's all. Everything else, whatever. Doing with the same modules? No. No. Just keep the tank as they are, because most of the time, in some cases you can see what modules they're using, but I could say if the guy's using a stock engine, how the hell would I know? How would I know that they're using a stock engine? So I just leave them fully upgraded and... Yeah, it's the same if I died to a 2-shot M6 Yor, and I happen to have the 3-shot equipped, I'll just keep the gun I have. Like, I'm not gonna change modules for the sake of it. You know, it's the same with, like... It's the same with tank requests, you know? I don't change modules for tank requests because... You know, it's the point. Wow. If that ain't a shame. that the Kryos was indeed a dumbass by recommending going to the city, and then the team turning around and facing the wrong direction. You never want to be... Like, when the enemy is attacking you, you don't want to counter push them in the exact same spot. You always want to move around and go to a different place and attack there, because otherwise you just... If you just go where the enemy is attacking, you just run into their momentum and you get eaten. You're gonna never recover that, you're just gonna lose. So... That's what happens. We got the Brazil score. 7-1. What? And it is... Yes, Wargaming, I will reject that offer, and I will continue to reject them until the end of time, because they're a evil marketing trick of FOMO that is only aimed at completely taking away the buyer's agency and making them a slave of the purchase. They just want money. Yeah. It's a business. That's the only thing they want. Everything else, customer satisfaction and number of users, that just serves money making. Right, that only matters for the purpose of making more money. But it's not the main reason, you know? Wargaming doesn't want to make you happy. Wargaming wants to make you spend money. And if making you somewhat happy is what gets them to make you spend money, then they're going to try to do that. Right? They don't care about how you feel. They just care about how you're spending. You know? I mean, you saw with Reforged how badly that was executed the first test. I mean, first impressions matter, and Wargaming clearly showed that they've learned nothing. Nothing. From years and years of bad choices, they've learned nothing. Right? I mean, sure, they can now ask the community and then walk back off the changes. Right? But they still showed a great disinterest in what the community wants. You know, because now Wargaming is like, okay, everybody hates Reforged, so if we concede on half the things that are bad, they're gonna like us again. But the other half is still worse, you know? They haven't let go of the sets, they haven't let go of the new crew system where the characters don't matter. You know, whatever their names are and how they look. I don't know why people complain about that. It doesn't matter. You know, but the system matters. And they're like, oh, we're gonna change everything. Because they want to make the game more casual. Because Blitz is an incredibly difficult game to learn and play. And obviously somebody with 10 years of experience has a advantage that is basically impossible to catch up for a person that starts playing the game now. So obviously they're trying to sort of level that out a little bit again, so that the casuals have a chance. Because they know with the increasingly awful monetization that they're doing, that a lot of veteran players are going to leave, and the majority of accounts that are created, they don't live to see 5,000 battles. Something like 10 to 15% of accounts even see 5,000 battles. So this thing we're going to have at World Ducks, yeah, that was a great event, but see, they don't do that anymore. Now the Nyan Cat event or whatever, it's just a repackaged, re-graphicked version of the Christmas event. You know, there's no novelty to it. It's nothing special. It's something new. They There's no effort in it, right? At least when Wolf Tanks PC does special events, they do them right. You know, that's the one thing that's still very good about Wolf Tanks PC, and that's the special events. In Blitz, pretty much all of the events are just graphically changed copies of previous events. Hi, the Press Loner. Hi, Marky. How you doing? Mate, you're supposed to get me out of tier 6. Not freaking die and bounce off me. Jeez, mate. What a shame that. Ah ha ha. We're not ready to tier 3 yet. Well, I started in tier 6. I'm still in tier 6, so we haven't made any congress. You know, because the opposite of progress gotta be congress. Hi Joe, how you doing? The Easter event scam. Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Oh, he's sleeping. Ay, 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 mamma mia. Oh, he's not sleeping anymore. It's Bob. It's fine, he's okay. Oh, uh-oh. Well, I'm on 604. Helsing, there's a KV... Mate, there's a KV2 you can have. Now, Vladimir. Kids with massive yogis don't give. Well... Those people are always gonna exist. Hi, Clavit. Those people are always gonna exist, and they're always gonna be pathetic. Because remember, those convinced of having the absolute truth are those furthest away from it. Alright. Oh, damn. Oh, 50 smasher. Hold on, I gotta reply to something. Second. Gonna play the smasher now. Where's the... Oh, there. Smasher time. Let's go. Smasher, smash. This moment 5 is okay, but now the others are kind of better. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Arthur. How you doing? Move in there! Perfect, MT. That's what we want. I Damon survived the KV2 to get killed by a Smasher because size matters. Size does matter, yeah. Size does matter. I say respect Smasher players if they're actually good. Yeah, the Smasher is the only tank in the game where I actually apply the tank rank to. Not even level 50. But I just thought, you know, if it's the most degenerate tool in the entire game, then I might as well use one of Wargaming's dumbest ideas they've had in the last couple of years on it as well, in terms of the tank ranks. Thank you. Thank you, M. Browning 04. Here's a fun fact about HE. If you are playing a paper tank, a tank that has no chance to defeat an HE shell, it can be extremely useful to turn your vehicle to the side, because then the HE shell might be absorbed by the track. However, if your track does not cover the entire side of the vehicle, you might still get HE'd there anyway. So, if you're in a light tank that has no armor, and a Smasher is trying to shoot at you, turn your vehicle to the side, because then perhaps that shell is gonna go into the track, and is not gonna cause full damage. Well, where's he going? Not very far! Ha! I mean, same thing. Yeah, but it makes even more sense with HE. Heat also gets caught in tracks, but in a lot of cases, especially in tier 10, the tracks are so thin and the HE penetration is so high, it's just gonna go through anyway. Would you look at that? Why? I mean, we got one level 50 on the enemy team, one level 50 on this team, 149, and me with 40. So it's like, basically having a high tank rank is pretty much always a sign of not a good player, right? It's a sign of dedication, not of skill. And nothing else. Now here, if you are in the city in a vehicle, if you do decide to play the city, then what you need to do is you need to push the city. Like this. You need to take all the space. Map control is indeed everything. Right now, that Helsing will die. That Yak Panther will die. And this match will pretty much be won because we've taken the initiative and knew that we'll have 7 guys in the city, and you need to push with those 7 guys through the city. Because the worst that can happen is a 7v7. Best that can happen is like here, 7v3. And then you pretty much get gifted a free win because they have absolutely no ability to help their teammates. Critical hit, yeah, exactly. Ain't that beautiful. Goodbye. And another Smasher match has been won. It is probably going to be pretty difficult to die in this vehicle to a low tier tank, but we might end up in tier 8 eventually. Would be a bit of a shame if I gonna play the Smasher for the next hour. Which, what do you all think? Hi, Jessica, how you doing? Yes, it is. The Smasher is indeed terrible. Oh, the cookie, how you doing? Yes, I've arrived at the Smasher. How you doing? Play the toaster for an hour. But how do I play one-handed? Well, guess what, guys? You failed. You got one job on this map. Let's take the fucking hill. And the medium's got nothing. Absolutely nothing. Didn't even get the island. They got absolutely nothing. Zero. While I watch. Ha! Alright. Great thing about printing is that the printer does all the work. If you set it up properly. Hey! I see what I'm doing. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, how about you? I'm good. I'm good. Oh, right. See, this is... You see this? You see the tank and it says Frey up here. You see this? This is the definition of false advertising. That is the definition of false advertising. Right there. Is Helsing played so much today? I don't know. Maybe people enjoy it? Who knows? Maybe a lot of people got a mission, a battle pass mission or something like that, where they have to play a Blitz Nation tank destroyer. Perhaps. What am I looking for? That's what I'm looking for. Alright. There we go. List of things that are truly free is very short. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great internet applications that are free, but they come at the cost of a middle-aged man developing it on his own in a basement. You know, VLC is free. It's one of the greatest applications ever made. So, in most cases, though, you're paying with time, money, or data. Right? Wonder why you have to make an account for every app. Well, because they want to have your data, they want to get your information, they want to track you, they want to find out more about you, they want to sell your data to advertisers, and then make more money off you and analyze you to more specifically target their app towards your vulnerabilities. So that's why you gotta make an account for your fridge now. Because the fridge company wants to have all your data. That's your wooden wall goes to Helsing. Oh. Maybe that's why. But it's 23,000 gold to get that globe. So it would be pretty weird to have that many of them. Like, I don't think there's that many people that are stupid enough to spend 20,000 gold on a gambling crate, right? 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 Right. Alright. It's gonna be a bit tricky. It's gonna be a bit tricky. I mean, VLC plays anything. If you have a Soviet file format from 1990 that nobody knows, VLC is gonna play that video. Basically. So... I mean, there's stuff like, if you want to do encoding, there's Handbrake. It's free. It's better than Adobe Media Encoder, pretty much. You can encode anything as well. Oh. Uh-oh. There's a lot of amazing stuff on the internet that is free, but you just gotta find it, because most of the time, it was built by a random guy that had nothing to do, because he was employed by Microsoft, but they gave him nothing to do, so he was sitting in his basement and made one of the greatest applications of all time in his basement, and since then hasn't updated the website. Sad. I learned something. Well, it's rare that you can learn something from me. But you know, I am getting old now as well, so... But, I mean, I don't think, to be honest, that the Helsing double shot's an advantage. Or the Annihilator multi-shot's an advantage. Or the... was it? Attack multi-shot is an advantage. It's just it's pretty much an inconvenience. It's pretty much an inconvenience. In most cases. Right, if you're trying to shoot at a moving target especially. Thanks for your misses anyway. Yeah. Because there is inaccuracy to the second and third shot. But they're not as accurate as the first one. So pretty much, if you have a stationary target that's pretty large, you'll be just fine. But if you don't, might not hit. 500, yeah, sure. I think they share 225, I think, is the alpha damage of the Helsing. Dracula's AFK, that's good. Now here's a tip. Start understanding how the ground works. Because what you can do here is you see, like here, you see it slightly elevate on the side. Right? It's not as flat as in the middle. So what you can do is you can use that ground to get yourself some extra gun depression. Even if you don't have a lot, like on this vehicle, you still get yourself some more. Guess that's nice. What? It was probably Joe Biden. No, I mean, if you would spread that conspiracy online, I would guarantee you that within 7 days you could have 1,000 people genuinely believe that. Which is scary. The internet is scary. Human consciousness was a misstep in evolution. Holy. Holy. That was close. Yeah, I was talking about the multi-shot mechanic. But that was just one shot. As far as I know. Well, one that hit, that is. Let's play the smash again. Yeah, very close to it. Oh, that went into the ground. Actually, don't want to play the smasher again. But I do know that he's reloading, so... nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. Oh, look at that. Level 50 Smasher. How many battles does he have in the Smasher? What? 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 Hello? Well, he definitely knows what he likes. He knows what he likes, that's for sure. Send that to me. You've played one thing so many times. I don't know, maybe he really likes it. Maybe he really likes it. Look at that thing. John's playing it. Yeah. This one looks amazing as well. I mean, this is a very simple camouflage. It's good. This tank has 250 millimeters heat penetration. So it does work really nicely. Even against tier 8 heavy tanks, this can go. Yes. I was hoping there was nobody there, but it seems like Stora Emil is indeed sitting there. And it can bounce stuff as well off the turret. Thanks, don't you have? I have every tech tree, but I don't have a lot of the like newer gambling tanks that were in crates. Because I don't spend money on this game anymore. So I'm not getting those, because, you know... I think the Type 63 perhaps is worth it. But otherwise, I don't think there's any tank that's been released within like the last 2 years that's actually worth buying anyway. So I'm not spending my money anymore. And most of the tanks that are coming out are not worth buying anyway, so a lot of the new... a lot of the new tanks I just don't have. And we go back up to tier 8 in the Bizonte. Yeah, I don't have the F46. Yeah, because with events like that, we have to play a lot. Like, I just can't be bothered. I don't have the like Sherman Easy 8 or whatever, the tier 8, tier 7. I don't have that either because I just didn't bother with the event. I was like, what am I gonna do with it? I'm never gonna play the tank anyway, so why waste my time getting something I don't need? Let's go. There's a Senlac, for example, a vehicle I don't have. Because it's not worth anything. Don't buy anything that's worse than something I already have. Yeah, and if you have the T-42, the T-77, the Type 57, the Chimera, the Centurion 5-1, and the WZ-121 GFT, there's not a single other tier 8 that would then apply, for example. And there's a few that are sort of on the same level, but you know, tier 10 as well. If you have the KPZ-50T, if you have the VK-90, if you have the Concept 1B, and the T-95E6 now, after it got buffed, what else do you need? I mean, sure, Super Conqueror, sort of on a similar-ish level, but the Chieftain got nerfed. It's a bit sad. So yeah, something like those weird Chinese ones and the 121B. It's just not worth it. I mean, maybe the Object 777. But it's like, it's not better than the 113, it's just the premium version of it. This is the best. Yeah. The Super Conqueror is still a good vehicle, but it's just so damn big. And it needs a little bit of accuracy. It's really weird that it's not very accurate compared to a lot of other vehicles of that type. Uh-oh. Gotta be fast, or I'm gonna be laced. Okay. They're all still full HP and nobody's gonna deal with that guy. Those two guys are throwing. See, this is exactly how you don't play. Those two guys are engaging the Emil, but they at the same time are exposing themselves. They're exposing themselves to the Action X. So they're getting double teamed from two sides, so there's no way they're gonna win because they're exposing themselves to the enemies while fighting another enemy, and you don't want to do that, ever. You always just want to fight one guy at the same time. And if there's another guy trying to double team you, you know, If you're trying to get into a threesome, don't. Get out. Find yourself a new one to tango with. I don't want to die to the Action X. Would not be happy having to play that. Alright. That's what she said. Haha. Let's go. But yeah, meme tanks, of course. Of course. What's that? I've got 36 tabs open. I gotta take care of that. Close them. Near my phone. Damn. Right, is it a tier 8 battle? I am gonna do the tournament move. And he's doing it too. Basically what you do in like an i7, well back then it was an i7, but now you probably take like a 777 or a maybe an 1095 E6, to be honest, with a buff it got. You push that to the middle, and then you can pretty much control... Oh, what the hell? You can control most of the map from there. Oh, that's not good. I'm dead. Oh well. Oh well. Went too far. I'd be mad if I cared. So... Alright. Progetto is doing either behind me or nope, Progetto is doing stupid. Progetto is doing stupid. Es stupid. And the heavies are too. Ain't that beautiful? Alright. I mean, they have to push now. Right? If you do that and you go in the city and spread out like that, you have to push. Because the enemy team has to push as well. Right? Because they now should know that there's less people here. And they are pushing. And my team is not doing as well as they should be. So... the only thing I can do is get out. Or lose. Or simply lose. I think this guy... I mean, the T-43 is dead. Oh well. $53 TP, which is one of the best tier 8s, pretty much, and also a good vehicle to start your Blitz journey with. Alright. 2 tier 9s, and they're platooned as well. And we have a renamed user on our team. Look at that, guys. We have a renamed user. The most dangerous predator in the entirety of World of Tanks Blitz. This is annoying me, but I can just go here. Now I can cut off the other Barask as well, and basically take all the space. I am the space. If you look at that, because now, I mean, that Barask, he's still sitting there. That Skoda has to push. That LT, what is he gonna do? Nothing. He can rush me, but then he'll just be dead anyway. Would you look at that? You're gonna die to the tomato and salad now. Perhaps. He did die to the tomato and salad. Now we're gonna get out of here because the 54 is coming. I did hit him. Now we're 2 tanks up. Now I have 9 points. Turret there. It's also, I mean, the FV Defender is a picture-perfect example of pointless tank. You know, it adds this tiny little pew-pew gun, but is it good? No. So you might as well just not have it. It's all a bit awkward though, just 4v4 now. And that BZ is full. Either of hit points or shit. Depending on how good of a player he is. There we go. I mean, the E75 is gonna get Rowan now. Try to help him maybe. Yeah, probably best bet here is trying to help that guy against the M103, but he's gonna lose. Yeah, there's no way he's gonna ever win that. And the FV is also thrown away. Yeah, lads, that's not happening. Let's try and die to the 103 at least. No! I want it should have been me! I'm just gonna peek this guy. Where did he go? Oh no! Damn it. No tier 9 for me, but did get the Barask, so it's not a downgrade. It's not a downgrade then. I did carry, but not well enough. What did you do, renamed user? And he's, well, major disappointment, if that ain't the truth. Say, self-awareness is incredibly important. He knows what he is. So we gotta appreciate that. Gotta appreciate that. Now. What? I mean, this one? I mean, oh, that thing. Yeah, this one. Why is renamed user dangerous? Because renamed user... I mean, unless they're funny and called themselves renamed user from the start, they named themselves in a name that Wargaming so fit that they had to rename. So... renamed users are either trolls that named themselves renamed user on purpose, or they're assholes. Just like this team. Which went to the friggin' city. Well done, you bunch of goobers. How does it feel to lose? That will be. Alright. Here we go. Oh man. If I end up in a TOG. If I end up in a TOG. Right. If I end up in a TOG. That's horny. Oh, well, well. Always find the enemy disadvantage and then make use of it. Like here. Oh, there it is. There is the enemy disadvantage. The form of, oh lord, he coming. Oh, there's another guy. It's a pretty bad spread now because it's... Oh. It's a pretty bad spread. Because those two guys are not going to live very long. The agent's going to go up there to get rid of those two guys, or he's going to swoop back down here. Nobody's doing anything on these two. Right, which would have to be removed from the battlefield. The Helsing's trying to fight the agent. Let's try to help him out. Put him on a one-shot. Come on, Helsing. Thank you. Now those three guys are doing nothing. When they should be doing something. 12T is calling for help. That's not gonna happen. 3 teammates are dead. I'm one shot. The chance of winning this is, no. Unless we very swiftly deal with this. Right here. Which is not gonna happen because these guys are camping. Obviously I can't pick them. Because I'm kinda dead. Alright. Oh, we missed. Well done. You can peek him, you know that, guys. Okay, the MX is useless. So... in this situation, like... you had the advantage. Why is he abandoning his teammates to drive somewhere... You don't have the gun elevation, buddy. You know, he didn't need to do this. All he could have just gone straight at them. He would have been fine. But anyway. I don't have that tank. I don't have that tank because I didn't bother with the event. So... we're gonna have to find something else that is in the same tier. That's a medium tank. So then I'll take this one. Because it's the same tank, sort of. Actually, let's have a look on Blitzstars. And compare. What's it called? 58, something like that. Seven. Oh, the other one's Chinese one's actually worse, lol. Funny. That is hilarious. Okay. Another Torg. Another Torg. Ladies and gentlemen. Another Torg. Second opportunity to Torg. Yeah, I don't think I will take that opportunity. Willingly. But, you know, might as well see what happens and have fun. Because, you know, that's the point of the game. You know, you can have high win rate on whatever, but, you know. Remember, being good at a game doesn't make you a good person, because there are people that are good at this game that diddle. So alright. Why are you pushing me, my friend? Why are you pushing me? It's a pretty bad idea. It's a pretty bad idea. The dog is already dead, so I can't die to the dog. That's a shame. Does that camel have Zimmerit on it? Like, which supposedly was to defeat magnetic mines. Right, you paint that on a tank, and then a magnetic mine won't stick. Now, the problem with that was that the Germans were the only ones that actually bothered with magnetic mines, so nobody would ever have used magnetic mines against the Tiger. So the whole paint was just a waste of time and resources when the Tiger was already an overpriced pile of not so useful. Well, we go again. Third opportunity to die talk? Maybe. No. But once again, I'm top tier. I am top tier all the time. Oh, what did you say? What did you say? By the way, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. You know, also a lie is not part of that either. I didn't say nothing. Yeah, what did you say? What did you say? If everyone has the freedom to do anything, nobody's free. Let's see. It's a 2v1 that I don't want to stay in. No, but yeah. What did you do? What did you do? Did you make derogatory statements about certain nationalities? Or what? Just gonna go and send it. Team, this is a distraction. Make use of it, you dumbos. Push. Now. See? Like that. Exactly. No! Well, it's a tier 7 at least. Congrats on winning. That was... You're welcome. See, they all turned around to try and face me, and that got them absolutely fucked up the backside. Ha! You're welcome. Yeah. Maybe I should try to play a little bit better. No, maybe I should actually bother today. What do you think? Should I actually bother at some point? What? What the hell? Right, the exact thing. Well, 1DY! You dumbass. Alright. I think I got one chat ban. Ever. But I was thinking 2016, I think. It was 3 days as well. I don't know what it was for. So, direct ban. Well, what did she... Why? I mean, I don't even use the chat, but... Why? Here's the thing. The only thing that people can be validly criticized for are things that they choose themselves. Like, actions they choose to take themselves. You can't criticize someone for something that they have no impact on. Alright. Said Wargaming was banned. Yeah, that's probably why you were banned, because Wargaming doesn't like that either. Or you assume... You know, Wargaming likes money. And not offending people. And whatever that was. You see that lag? That was Wargaming. They heard me. They heard me just then. No, I don't want to die to a tier 7. Oh, 13, I don't. No! LOL! And he drove past me as well. Wrecked. Wrecked. Shooting APCO. Am I? Maybe. Maybe I am. Pikachu got himself banned from Blitz chat. He's a naughty boy. All right. Maybe you should have taken steroids, because maybe for you, it calms you down. Actually, don't take steroids, they're bad for you. Unless you're sick and need them to rebuild. So, no, being small is not a sickness. Alright. I'm thinking we gotta go. My people need me. Well, we won. We won this match. Let's finish it off. I mean, he's gonna die to the Borsig in a couple of seconds if nothing else happens. Oh, you missed. Kali boy. Oh, what? Is there a guy in front of him? There's a guy in front of him. Yeah, there's a guy in front of him. Ow. There was a guy in front of him. Ha! I'm sick in the head. Well, yeah, but that you need therapy for that. And if they say that, then I'd probably agree with that as well. Alright. Barask would be very tasty. A Barask would be extremely tasty right now. Just for the sake of getting a lot of damage here. I go for mine. No, they destroy everything. Oh. This, if anybody says that this tank is good, they're wrong. It's a meme tank. Do you like the 113? If yes, then maybe. It's worth it. But otherwise, if you don't play that, then no. Because it is pretty much just a Soviet 113.
Enemy armor is hit.
With some changes. If you don't like that one, you're not going to like the 777. But generally, it is a solid tank. Doesn't make any sense how this is a heavy tank, but anyway. Doesn't have any armor. Well, that worked. Unlike my team, which doesn't work at all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we got a bit of a problem here, lads. A little bit of a problem. Oh. That was still HE. bruv. If I can run away from all of them, I can... No, never mind, I can't. This thing is slow as balls. How is that T-44 like? See, if I could run away and if I did have armor, could win this because I can one-shot all of them. But there's no way I'm ever gonna be able to run away from them. So I'm a fat-ass heavy tank. And the Borask's just gonna disappear from me now.
Enemy armor destroyed.
There's no way in hell I'm making this. No, we missed. Don't be stupid, Panther. Yeah, see, they're playing together, so there's no chance, really.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
There is no chance, really, even if the Panther decides to... Well, it's pretty difficult now for you, little Panther. Kinda slow, you know. Can't outturn me, though. Oh, for what the hell? Where did that shot go? Oh, well.
We've had it. Everybody out.
Where did that go? Wherever that went. Wherever that went, then. Ugh. Play a fucking Panther. So... Alright. Lag strikes again. Well, yeah. And the shells from the Caliban have a speed of like 2 meters an hour, but I have no idea where that went. I have no idea where that went. Alright.
Auf geht's.
We have a 132 that's doing funky stuff. An ML1 just doing funky stuff. The MX is dead. Goodbye. Pink Panther. Let's see. Okay, biblically accurate elephant over there. That sucks as much in Blitz as it did suck in real life. It is a bit of a shame that this vehicle is then followed by the Panther II and an E50, which are not really that good, but then are followed by the E50M, which is like the best Terror 10 medium that has ever existed. So... yeah. Biblically accurate mouse. Yeah. Have to try something here, I guess. He'll be dead long before he reaches me, but he'll be fine. If any of the existing values is not biblically accurate, yeah, because the people that wrote the holy books didn't have any special knowledge, so they just wrote down the animals they knew, and why is there no kangaroo in any of the holy books? I mean, here's the thing. You know, if you want to prove that you're divine, then write something that the people at the time couldn't have known. You know, otherwise you're just a poser. You know, most holy books are just copied everything from before. I don't know if that's Russian, but I'm just gonna reply with this. I don't think he, like... Who is this? I don't think that's an actual write-out. I think it's a copy-pasta. Right? Because, like, nobody's this stupid to write someone this much. No, being Indian, special knowledge. No, but you are special, though. Hello, Sentry. No, then it's Ukrainian. Well, I know from CSGO it's the Russians that are awful people. You're running, hiding, sitting in your panties, running up to somebody calling me. Okay, so he's a degenerate. Can't pull that any other way. You can't really call that any other way, like... Yeah, I wouldn't know what to call that when you call someone a FAG like 5 times. So... Yeah... Mate. And Russians wonder why nobody likes Russians. When that's Russians. Russian. Alright. Yeah. Other awful people, Ukrainians not only supported and supplied arms to military dictatorship, same as Russians. No. What are you talking about? Exactly.
Let's go.
I mean, I know that in terms of Indian foreign policy, India's pretty far up their own ass. So they just, you know, try to care about what is best for them and don't really bother with, you know, genocide and stuff because it's bad for business. So, good luck. So, good luck, I say. Alright. Russia. The Jeffrey Epstein of countries. What? Or is... Well, I don't know. Between the US and Russia, one of them's Diddy, one of them's Epstein. But I don't know which is which. You know, because they keep forcing themselves upon other people against their will. All the time. So... Let's see. Yeah, Pakistan. What? What about Pakistan? What about Pakistan? Alright. Now, could you perhaps think about this, is that Ukraine was for a while governed by Russian puppets because the Russians put them there. Perhaps the actions you're referring to were done by them? I don't know.
Even scratch them.
You know, because the Russia tried for a very long time to
Enemy is hit.
subjugate Ukraine. Right?
Penetration.
For a very long time. So you might want to ask when that was. Alright. Why should we care? No one cared in the last 5 years before and the rest of the democracy. What? It's very simple. It's about common interests, right? And if India is not interesting, then why support them? If there's nothing there to be gained. You know? Why would anybody care? You know? I mean, India is useful at hating China, and that's about it. Currently. If I was like a Western-ish diplomat. You know? Because now China is outsourcing all their production to Africa. So... that's not happening. We go back to the Smasher again. Before 2004 and 2010 to 2014 was Russian rule. Yeah, exactly. And in 2014, Russia invaded Ukraine because Ukraine decided that they don't want a Russian puppet to be their president. So, how you doing, Diego? Smash pouring to play now. Well, it's still the Smasher, so like doing 1,000 damage to a tier 7 light tank is still fun, but it's pretty slow to play, right? Ukraine supplied Chile shells and tanks to Pakistan. Well, when was that? What year specifically? What president? What government? Right? Alright. Hello, little guy. 400, that's an SU-130 that's camping back there. Happy that Germany's building a bigger military. I mean, the money's just gonna get wasted on contractors and advisors anyway. You know, they're not gonna do anything useful with it. You know, you might as well give that money to Ukraine and... because that's where the stuff's actually happening. That's who actually needs help. You know, what Germany needs is better cybersecurity. So the Russian trolls can't continue with their essentially internet war against Western democracy. Right? Because the EU is at war with Russia. Just on the internet. And you know, far-right parties, and far-left parties for that matter, are often paid for and supported by Russia because Russia wants to destabilize the EU. You know, like the German AfD. Massive connections into Russia. You know, they're all connected. You know? It's like how, if you look at most terrorist groups today, either they were started by the Americans or the Iranians. So, yeah. Uh-oh. 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 $135 billion. Yeah, it's like half. That's like half a submarine. All right. I mean, the whole like India-Pakistan thing is, to me, basically just you're both assholes. Shut the fuck up. Sit down. Deal with it. You know, it's like with Russia and Ukraine. It's very clear that Russia's the bad guy. Ukraine isn't. I mean, it's like North and South Korea. They both suck in their own ways. Like, one of them is everyone starves to death and it's an insane dictatorship. And in South Korea, nobody wants to have any kids anymore because they have to work 60-hour weeks and it's essentially neo-capitalist hell. South Korea is still better. Scoping our SU-130. Well, here's the thing. The SU-130 is sneakier. The SU-130 is sneakier, right? So, if you want to play more passively, then the SU-130 is probably the better choice. But if you want to play more aggressive, you know, you want to use the turret, you want to go more forward, then the Scorpion is a better choice. They're pretty much, like, equally useful. But they play a little bit different. Isn't the mod streaming out politics? Well, it gets boring otherwise, doesn't it? Talk about Blitz for 2 hours, what are you gonna do? I already said everything about Blitz. Heh. Why is it flying another country in the battling? Well... Alright. The postal of economic and the other rice bags with Modi's face on it doesn't convince anybody. But anyway. So let's see. Pretty much one of those situations where if you keep fighting, you both just lose. Yeah, that's the point. Alright. When was the last time any US president sponsored hundreds of terrorist organizations? Well, it's pretty hard to sponsor terrorist organizations if you don't have any money yourself. So that's why the Americans have so much money. You gotta create your own enemy, remember? You gotta create your own enemy. Yeah, because when the Soviet Union fell apart, how the hell do you justify military spending? Yeah, how do you justify military spending if you don't have an enemy? Well, you gotta make yourself one. You know? Alright. Ooh. Because Pakistan had an insane dictator that was basically trying to genocide the whole of Pakistan. Well, at that point, when it was still East Pakistan, and it was like, fuck you. What do you mean there was a typhoon? Just starve. So, duh. It's not bad for giving weapons to country, it's bad for giving weapons to a genocidal dictatorship country. So everybody's terrible? Then? Rheinmetall sells weapons to Saudi Arabia. The US sells weapons to everybody, really. So... Ooh. Oh, hey, look. My country is amazing and virtuous because of the one... category that I've picked that's in my favor, and everyone else sucks. Basically. Remember that. Anybody that claims to be absolutely true is absolutely wrong. Right? Everybody's terrible. Yes, well, except like New Zealand or Iceland or Norway or Denmark or Finland or I don't know. Starting to run out already. Shank KV, who was that? Oh no. Still on tier 6. You're still on tier 6. USA is basically the arms dealer of the world. Russia comes in second. Yeah. I mean, John McCain said that Russia is just a gas station run by a mafia. Right? The US is a weapons shop run by the mafia. And Italy is just run by... Never mind. Nah. The last one's not true. But yeah. I mean, look at Australia. Look at how well Australia's doing. So it turns out that when you're the English and you send your criminals one way and your religious nutters the other way, your criminals will build a better country than the religious nutters. Remember that. For next time. I think John was looking at it because he's an asshole, mainly. And all he cares about is his own name and his own success. And he doesn't have any goals besides enriching and empowering himself. That's it. You're bad. No. That is... I mean, nobody would claim Ukraine is for frickin' paradise. You know? But when you look at Russia and Ukraine, you can very clearly see who's the bad guy and who isn't, and who deserves support and who doesn't. You know, only an idiot would not see that. You know? So... It's like, imagine you live in a house and you want to join you want to join the gardening club, but your neighbor doesn't want you to join the gardening club, so they start shooting at you. So I think the only people that support Trump were people that were dropped on their head as a child. So, well, it's not true entirely, because that would take away their own responsibility for their actions, which they are responsible for. You know, simple logic, I support who supported me. Oh, well. Default. Rask. All right. Yeah, like imagine you walk on the street. Imagine you walk on the street and you see one guy beating up another guy. Right? And then you say, oh, they're both equally as bad. Because the guy that's getting beaten up sold my neighbor ice cream and I don't like my neighbor. Ugh. Now they're equally as bad, you know, when you see someone getting beat up in the street. The guy that's doing the beating and the guy that gets beaten, they're equally bad. Right. Right. Like, Jesus. So, uh-oh. The gardening club was made for the explicit reason to demolish my house, then bet and not allow me to join it. Well, but it wasn't. But it wasn't. But it wasn't. So... It was made because a British lawyer drew a line. That's why it was made. For no other reason. So... Why NATO was made. Yeah, to not have Russia invade stuff like they did pretty much a lot after World War II. You know, like 68 when they marched into the Czech Republic, or when they invaded Chechnya, or when they invaded Georgia, when they invaded Ukraine twice, when they invaded Afghanistan. What am I forgetting? Well, Hungary as well. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like there was another one, you know? There was Czech Republic, Hungary. I think it was another one more. I don't know, make money from that. Yeah, NATO exists so that Russia can't attack other countries. So Russia doesn't want Ukraine in NATO because they want to attack Ukraine. Because NATO exists so Russia can't attack them. So of course Russia doesn't want Ukraine in NATO because then Ukraine would be safe from Russia in NATO. And Russia doesn't want Ukraine to be safe. They want to own Ukraine. They want to control them. So of course Russia's against that. Duh. So, straw manning. It's not a straw man. It's just the truth. What exactly would be a straw man about the truth, my man? You know? I mean, sure, Russia might think, might feel like they're being threatened, but I don't see NATO ever threatening to invade Russia. But Russia's constantly threatening and invading others. I mean, I don't know, when has France last threatened to nuke Moscow? Wouldn't remember that. You know, but I think the Russians have threatened to nuke France like 15 times at this point. And probably 150 times at this point. So, I don't know. So it's like... a bit of an odd argument. You know? So... That's the reason they did that. France's nuclear doctrine, since ever, has been nuke as a warning. Right? So if you'd know anything about the actual French nuclear doctrine, how it works, you would see that it has always been the case that if France gets threatened by someone else, then that's their official policy. And it always has been. Duh! So... yeah. But you wouldn't know that. Alright. Yeah, tell me, why does NATO exist, and why is Russia afraid of it? You know, NATO doesn't attack Russia. Has it ever? No. I mean, Poland blackmailed their way into joining NATO. Right? They blackmailed the US government into allowing them to join NATO. Right? That's how important it was for the Eastern countries to get protection from Russia. So... Because that is a terrible timing example. It's not timing at all. The French don't threaten Russia with being nuked. The French have always been, if you threaten us, we're gonna nuke you. That's always been their policy. Like... Hiya, Dan, how you doing? No, you can't just... You're like, oh, France said the same thing that they've already said for the last 70 years. Like... oh well, whatever. Now, waving the white flag was always French policy. Funnily enough, France is the country with the most won wars of all time. So, I kind of... like that surrender joke is funny because it's like the furthest from what's true. But, it's good. You know. I said it first. No, you didn't. So... Alright. All that matter, they lost. What do you mean lost? What did they lose? I mean, sure, they got temporarily occupied, but they didn't lose. So... Austro-Hungary lost. Yeah. Yes. Duh. So... remember that it can't be a world war unless it's started by Austrians. So, otherwise it's just a sparkling conflict. Right? It has to be specifically originating in Austria to be a world war. Otherwise it's copyright infringement to call it a world war. It's just a sparkling conflict. Alright. Before they got temporarily occupied, they lost. If you're playing a basketball game and you're behind in like the first half of the match, but then you win at the end of the match because you score more points in the second half, did you lose? Because you were behind on points in the first half of the game. I know that's not basketball, but whatever. So... alright. There we go. Come on. I mean, pretty much the majority of border conflicts that exist right now can be traced back either the French or the British or the Spanish or the Portuguese. Because they just randomly drew borders on a map and were like, you know, We don't care about this region's 1,000-year-old history and culture and
To musiał poczuć.
whatever. So, let's shut up before you say more lies. Like you lying about Russia and Ukraine being equally as bad, like that. Nah, don't think so. Don't think so, buddy. Tell me when I lied. Tell me when I lied. Alright. It's demeaning to other countries to blame European countries for today's conflict. It isn't. It's just true. That's why you started. No. That's not how speech works. But okay. But okay. I mean, if you even utter the words Sykes-Picot anywhere in the Middle East, you're probably gonna get a clobbering, for example. You know? It's simply because conflicts are a lot easier to start than to solve them. And most of the time, especially for populist parties and nationalists and all the other trash, it is often very helpful to keep conflicts alive. Right? So you have an enemy. So you can create the us against them idea. Right? We're the good guys. They're the bad guys. You know? So you want to keep yourself an enemy. Right? Because otherwise, how are you going to justify military spending? How are you going to justify cracking down on human rights? How are you going to justify reducing people's freedom? You gotta keep yourself an enemy.
Jeszcze raz i pójdzie w piach.
So, I don't know.
Został.
All right.
Zarysowaliśmy.
How you doing, Daniel?
To musiał poczuć.
Plus, whenever this shit is again my control station. Well,
Weszło jak w masło.
if a British guy draws a line through your house, and then some other guy says your house is theirs now, it's probably gonna be a lot of shit for a while.
Załatwiliśmy kolejnego.
All right. America was inevitable. Yeah, in a way. I mean, it would have happened regardless, but it could have been done better by not having most European immigrants to the US be like the worst kind of people that Europe had to offer. You know? So. Yeah.
Ten już do nikogo nie strzeli.
Alright.
To musiał poczuć.
Of course, it's just rage baiting. one doesn't need a reason, it just is. And? And? If I say, there are a lot of orange cats, and you say, yes, but there is a white cat, that doesn't change anything about what I said. There's still a lot of orange cats. Wasn't that Australia and USA initially? You thought they'd been open air prison? Well, it was mostly Australia. It was pretty much Australia. Just that was the prison part. The US was mostly people that Europe didn't want because they were a little bit crazy. Puritans running shit for everybody. Yup. Yup. Goes back to the good old tolerance paradox, you know, it's like what are you gonna do with those kind of people? What are you gonna do with them? Well, the best thing you can do is do the Patrick Star method. Push him somewhere else. Because there's always gonna be terrible people in this species. It's simply in the nature of the species. There's gonna be terrible people. But the thing you can do is to make sure that they don't hold any power over others. Uh-oh. Let's see. Enjoy, Glory. Have a good one. Yeah, I mean, you see, Australia is doing pretty alright for themselves. Even though they're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Imagine that. I mean, Canada's doing... Well, nobody can afford a house in Canada, but... They're doing alright. Except the not afford a house part. Uh-oh. If that SP... Oh, that guy's pretty useless then. Oh god. Okay, that's... That was a mistake then. Okay, well that guy's not gonna be much help here. Oh. Yeah, and this guy's dead. Well, it's a 1v3. Guess the SMV is probably the easiest and best target to have here. The SP is going for him anyway. I mean, the SP is not gonna win against the SMV really. But I can use him as a distraction. Can use him as a distraction. Somehow the Juto is not dead. I mean, the SP1C could now dispose of the SMV, but he chooses not to because, you know, why would you bother with trying to win? Now he's gonna... Yeah. Now he's gonna sit in front of the elephant and get his face shot off. Well done on that, buddy. Well done on that. Gee, that guy is useless. Jeez, useless. Hi, what kind of doing? Welcome. That's what happens when you let everyone who claims to be a victim. That's not how that happened, but okay. So... But Then answer this: why is there so many Indians in Canada then, and in the U.S.? What are they doing there? If you think that's the case. So it's always other people, right? It's always other people. So also the houses that immigrants tend to be shoved into most of the time aren't the same houses that middle class people live in. For example, they get shoved into a container somewhere. So in that case, so yeah, but so you're saying you created the problem. So what are you gonna do about it? Alright, go on a moment. That's not happening. I'm rich to come rich in stores. Well, yeah, most immigrants that aren't refugees are most likely gonna be in the upper 10-20% of a country because they will be the ones that can afford to fly out and leave. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna die, but oh well. I'm surprised I got that far because if it would have just reversed, he would have just come after me and I would have died as well, so couldn't have two-shotted him. Oh well. Oh well. I now have to play that pile of trash. I have to play that the side script. Hello! What do you think that is? Alright. As your kid is, yeah. There was a guy in Canada. It was in Canada that was killed essentially by the Indian government. So yeah, Canada's not very happy with that, I suppose. You know, so that doesn't really work that well. That didn't work. Never seen a good Vic 100 player. Well, there was some. Side scraped. Well, that was... I was on the side where the cupola was on, so... Oh well. Also, side scraping is boring. That was more fun. That was more risky. More interesting. So... Because I've already won plenty of battles. I want to have fun. And if I would have gotten away with that, that would have been really funny. This is the EU server. This is the EU server. Hello. Nope, he's not reversing far enough. Who's we? Who's we? You're them. Oh, wait a minute. you can reduce other groups of people down to a stereotype, but if it's done to you, uh-oh.
Wir haben sie voll erwischt.
Alright. Oh well. Human consciousness was a mistake. That's all that is. And I hope that I will decease to a tier 9. Alright, what? What does that have to do with anything? Why would that ever matter? Oh look, I have slightly more pigmentation. That means nothing at all. Oh. So... What is that? Yo. What about YouTubers get the dumbest enemies and the smartest enemies? So I got... Because that's a false shift in perception that isn't true. Everyone gets the same shit teams. You know, maybe if you watch a streamer, I mean not me because I don't care anymore, but if you watch a streamer that tries to play well, perhaps, they're obviously going to be able to compensate a lot more for incompetent teammates. Like I can look at the minimap and see, okay, that guy's going to be useful, that guy's not going to be useful, so I can move myself in a position, I can move around and do certain things to make useless teammates more useful, right? So I can essentially improve their usefulness against their own will. So if you watch that, and if you can't do that, if you're not good at adapting to a team like that, it is gonna look like they're having a better team when that's not the case, when they're just making better use of the team they have, for example. Okay to be racist to war, it's not okay to be racist to anybody. Like, any feature the person has that they can't change is pointless to speak of. You know, you can't change your skin color, or that you're left-handed, or you know, that your eyes are green, or whatever, you know. I must die before I can get anything done. Oh, you gotta get it done faster. There are always terrible teams. There will forever be terrible teams. And they're probably getting worse as well. But you can make better use of the teams you have. Right? You have to approach this game with a capitalist mindset. Everything's a resource. People are a resource. Your teammates are a resource, and the enemies are, you know, exploit everything. So, uh-oh. I don't want to change your eye color whenever green. I don't know. A lot of people, maybe. If you say it's okay for there to be a distinction, or should we ignore people's differences? Well, there is no difference, though. If you look at it from a biological perspective, skin color doesn't even matter. For example, it has no effect whatsoever on DNA or anything. It's barely a difference, you know? It just happens to be the difference we can see. But if you look at it from a biological standpoint, it barely even matters. Well, there are certain skin conditions like the Michael Jackson, but then again, you can't control that either. Ugh. I appreciate the differences. Yeah, like, as long as whatever you do doesn't negatively affect someone else, it doesn't matter. I was thinking because I did matter. That's not how that... that's not how I mean that. Right? Otherwise, people with darker skin would have gone extinct a long time ago. The thing is, evolution and natural selection doesn't produce things that are good. It produces things that are not terrible. Right? Everything that isn't bad enough to die will keep going. Right? And in the terms of the Homo sapiens, it's one species that happens to have varying colors. But it doesn't really matter which one you are, in most cases. Like... ugh. Like, the internals are all the same. Like, your DNA could be more similar to a guy in Iceland than to your neighbor, for example. So... most of the differences are manufactured. Really. There's a lot more variance between people that look the same than people that look entirely different. So, like, how you look is one of the least concerning things when it comes to DNA. I mean, you know. Yeah, that Markavia might be cousins. Well, you could be. Goodbye. So... hi, Phoenix. I did crawl. Crawl out of the low tier hell. Somehow, I made it. But yeah. It's pretty much all just... you know, to... help yourself and harm others, you know? It's like, oh, he looks different! You know? It's bullshit, you know? It's based on the fact that humans are a lot more controlled by their emotions, that they can control their emotions, or rather, we're a lot more emotionally stupid than we are rationally intelligent. And now I have to play the fucking 183. I hate, and I hate, and I hate. Engineer with green eyes. You're American. Maybe you're not.
Time to roll out.
I mean, you could be closer related to a guy on North Sentinel Island than you are to a guy living on your street. You know, it's like the Homo sapiens is pretty uniform when it comes to the important bits. Just happens that the things that are most different are the things we can see. I mean, all of your organs could be in the wrong side. You know, it doesn't do anything, but it can happen. You know, or your organs switch sides. They're on the wrong side, but it doesn't kill you, so just keep the gene keeps existing. You know, your organs can be on the wrong side. Because it doesn't harm you. It doesn't make you go extinct. So it keeps existing. That's how it works. Because natural selection simply just weeds out everything that's not able to live. And if it's miserable, but it gets to live, and it'll be fine, it's not gonna get taken out. It's gonna keep going.
Armor is damaged.
I mean, look at the... what's it called? The sunfish. Look at the sunfish. Thing's gigantic and useless. It still exists because it's... It can do the one thing that you need to do to keep existing, and that's reproduce. Make more of you.
Enemy armor is hit.
Ooh! Ah!
Bail out.
Yeah.
Have had it.
That shot 25T. Alright, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The next tank I die to will be the last battle. If I die in the bat chat, I will play the tank I die to once, and then we will do the M2 Light. Yeah, it's something like 70% of people have, or 75% of people have brown eyes or something like that. See, why does nobody ever use that to separate people into groups? So there's nobody that use left-handed people, you know, because those are such minor differences that they're barely even noticeable, right? You can't really build hate based on eye color, you know? So nobody ever uses those categories to divide people. I mean, Pol Pot did it with glasses. You know, that's about as absurd as it gets. You know, he was like, oh, everyone that has glasses is an intellectual and they want to destroy it, whatever. You know, but... you know, this... everybody's part of a minority. Right? Everybody. But... it just happens that... some are easy to make people... hate them. Others are... oh, I died to my... okay, yeah, great. Yes, I know, I mean... up until the 60s and 70s, they try to force left-handed people to become right-handed people. You know? So, yeah, they were treated awfully as well. But I'm more of the thinking of like, oh, left-handed people are like the existence of left-handed scissors makes our economy bad. You know? That direction, you know? Where like a group gets blamed for something they have nothing to do with. You know, that's what I meant. Obviously, there's always going to be instances where people that belong to a minority are mistreated simply on the basis of their difference. Right? And that sucks. A lot. And it sucks even more if that is used as an excuse to pile on blame for whatever. You know? Because that's even dumber. And the first thing's already super dumb. Or the stupid idiot's minority. Probably not. That's not a minority. It's probably the one group that's not a minority. Yeah, Marky. Fair point. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the average U.S. voter or not voter, then that is very much the case. For example, you know, because if you don't vote, you always vote for the winner. Always. If you don't choose, it's chosen for you, and you accept whatever is chosen for you. Because, well, if you don't accept it, you could have made your choice. So, I have to wait for the batchat to come back. As I said, that the tank I'll die to, that's the last one I play. But I died to the batchat. I'll see if you understand that one. Mate, you know where you're being shot at from. What are you doing? Oh, he's gonna lose. My Trump supporter was really nice reflects the Trump being a Trump supporter is the red flag. You know? It's like being offered a cookie from a guy with a swastika armband. It's like your current state of being is incompatible with empathy. And that makes you evil. So... No, it's not, because that's not how you spell it, but okay. Are they bad at detecting red flags? Could be. You know. No difference still. That doesn't make a difference. Doesn't matter. If you vote for him, you support him. So it doesn't matter the reason why someone voted for that. The mere act of doing it disqualifies someone from being viewed as having empathy. towards anybody that isn't themselves. Oh, there he is. Come on, Cromwell. Come on. Yes, good boy. Let's go. Let's go. If you have one working brain cell, it would have been like, well, the Democrats suck, but the other option sucks a lot more. So, it's like, hey, what would you rather lose? A toe or your whole leg? I'm not voting Hitler. It's just because I don't like Hindenburg. Well, Hindenburg was the president at the time, so he wasn't in the chat. Like, he wasn't being elected as chancellor, but yes, pretty much like that. You know? It's like, sure, I don't like having a cough, so I'll give myself cancer. Yay? That's that argument and nothing else. So it's not as bad as good people are gonna be. Well, okay, we have business criminal, we have failed casino owner, we have a rapist, we have child rapist probably as well, we have any form of verbal evil you can produce. Like, it would be hard to find anybody as evil as that guy that isn't Putin or whatever, that currently isn't serving life in prison. You know? So, yeah. As bad as he is, very much worse than what people are talking about. Very much worse than that. That is why parents love your children, because if you don't hug your kids, that's what happens. Adolf's dad was a cunt too. So bad parents create bad parents. Alright. This is the Antichrist. I mean, to be the exact Antichrist, it would have to be bold entirely. But he's very close to being the exact opposite of anything Jesus stands for. So, because, you know, the opposite of full hair is no hair. But he's not bald, so it's the only thing, you know, that you could argue. But nice try, if I do him. I have tips on the TFP prototype. It's a heavy tank. It's probably one of the most regular, boring heavy tanks that exists. It's got, I think, 8 degrees of gun depression. It should just use the turret armor and side scrape. And play it like any normal heavy tank. You know? Uh-oh. Hey, good luck. Make a comp team with a bunch of 50%ers. Well, good luck with that. If it is still Confederate. But, see, that's another one thing. Like, if you see someone walking around with a Confederate flag, for example, if you see someone walking around with a Confederate flag, you instantly see fucking loser. You know. Why is it, what, like, red is such a beautiful color. But why do all the assholes always have to use red? Why? Why? I mean, in Germany, the assholes are blue. But... in France too, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. But why most of the cases the assholes always pick red? You know? Like, just why? I already did him, made top 16. Oh, nice, congratulations. Congratulations. What the fuck is red? I mean, yeah, I know, like in Germany, the Social Democrats are red too, but it's not a universal thing, you know, but so many assholes always pick red. You know, it's just sad, because red is a nice color. You know? It probably also, I'm not entirely sure, but I think that red is also the color that's used the most in national flags. So, yeah. It might just be that. It might just be that. Next game is 6.5. Ooh, nice. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Alright, let's see if we can get a match here. Hi, Mark. Yep. Rip Aussie. Well, at least he did take Hulk Hogan down with him, so... Rip. I said it first. Nah, I don't. We got this. Tier 1. Oh my ass. Yeah, just a hole in the ground, not much else. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing about life. At the end of it, we all get eaten by the same bugs. Good was the shoot on PUBG cried in a stream. I was targeting him. Yeah, but like that guy is the definition of goober. Just goober. I wonder when he's gonna start applying orange face paint. Oh well. Not that I bother with that. It is kind of pathetic though that, you know, a lot of the good Blitz YouTubers quit, but that stays around. Oh well. I guess Blitz doesn't deserve it any better in the end. You know. I mean, I saw against my will, unfortunately, on Reddit that apparently he didn't ban a guy from his Discord server that said the N-word. because he paid him money. So, like, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to waste the mental capacity to think of words to describe what I want to say. But it's pretty much just disappointing. I think Reforged. I've made a couple of videos up about Reforged where I talked about it in detail, but pretty much Reforged is another great wargaming idea, as in they had an idea and then they executed it the worst way possible. You know, no, I mean the YouTuber guy, like the one that sends explicit material to children. I mean that guy, you know, that one. You know, so. Oh well. It's kind of funny. Like, he made a couple of videos about me, and he deleted them. I did download them, but I have to this day not watched them. Right? I have to this day not watched them. That's how little I value anything coming from there. It's simply not worth my time and effort to bother, but hey. That was not Hi, PT. Well, Goober's gonna goober. What can you do? How you doing, PT? Yeah, of course. You always gotta play the victim. It's like, So, well, given that he allows people to say the N-word on his server when they give him money, I wonder how much I would have to pay him so I can call him a pedo. There's probably a price on that. Not that I would pay it because... But... Yeah. Say for free. Well, you can only say what you can prove, and everything else is allegedly. Allegedly, Joe Biden stopped 9/11 from happening, but he forgot about it, so it happened anyway. Allegedly. So... Okay, you're like the only two people still making watchable what's going on at this point. Yeah. Oi! We got it! Ace time. Yes, Glory, that's kind of how it works. It's obviously not true, but that's sort of how it works. Allegedly, you dress up donkeys in cheerleader outfits and have sex with them. Allegedly. For example, you know? Also, like, there's a few things in... Like, when it comes to, stuff like that, it's pretty much... Can you prove it? If you can, you can obviously say it, right? If you can't prove it, you can sort of allege to it, right? Or what you can also do is you can make a claim that is so outrageous that no sound mind would ever assume it to be factual. Right? You can do that. You know? So it's Occasionally start a podcast called Marty's Bathtub. Maybe. Chem's video was funny. I saw that Chem's video and I was like, it was kind of funny that he mentioned him because, you know. What? Okay. Okay. Allegedly that panda was born in Gazilla's mouth. Oh. Well. Remember, kids, you only have one life. Use it well. Don't waste it. Because at the end, you won't remember anything anyway. But have fun while you're at it. Heh. What happens if I fart in my own hand and leave it sit for 4 hours? There's gonna be people with white shoes knocking on your door, and they're gonna take you away. Perhaps. So. But in the end, what can you do? Nothing. Not much. What you can do is hit the like button if you haven't already. And I will be back with another stream on Friday. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the conversation. Because remember, I'm not streaming to play Blitz. I'm streaming to talk to you people. I don't care about Blitz, pretty much. So, thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe. Don't die. Goodbye.